Hi guys, this is Tina from Shabbydabbydoodah. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm here for part 3, would you believe, of this week's mass making session where we have been making the journal toppers. And I have got 4 more left to decorate. So I thought, oh, I'm going to come on and, you know, we can just decorate up the last 4 because then, you know, then they're completely done, which will feel awesome. So let's just get cracking straight away. Now, I've tried to kind of save a little bit of time. So I've laid out things that I'm, you know, proposing to go on top of each, you know, each of them. So this one, I thought she just looks gorgeous on there, doesn't she? I love how she looks on there. So let's just get going. So I'm doing this obviously on the same day that I did the last video. So I've still got, you know, all the bunch of stuff that I had for doing the last video. It's all still on my lap, in fact, because I'm filming straight after the last video. But yeah, I mean, for you guys, obviously it's the next day. So I'm just going to ink around this because it is obviously, you know, very bright white at the moment. So we'll just ink around. And this lady, she's from my Savile Row. That's my new kit that's just gone in the shop this week. It's the ephemera part of the kit she is from. So, but yeah, I thought she would look really good on the cover of here. Okay, let's ink her up a little bit. I mean, she doesn't really need it, but just going to ink her up a little bit. Okie. So I hope everyone's having a good day, and yep, hope you're not sick and tired of the journal covers now. I do realise 3 days of the journal covers, that's quite a long time, so you've probably switched off by now, but I wanted to get them finished really, so that I didn't have kind of just blank, you know, like material mats laying around. Although, to be fair, you know, they would still be handy to have them, but I thought, well, if I could just actually have the whole bunch of toppers literally finished off, I just felt would be even handier still. So yeah, hence I thought that I would come along and finish it. I mean, I quite like that there, to be honest, but of course then we've covered up pretty much the whole of the you know, that red fabric, which of course then that's just pointless, isn't it? So yeah, I probably won't do that. Just see whether we could have her on that side. Oh no, bit weird as well. Right, okay, scrap that idea. But yeah, I do absolutely love her there. So let's see what trims would look good on this. Okay, so yeah, I've got this. Oh, that looks gorgeous on there, doesn't it? Okay, let's just cut that down. Okay. Yeah, love how that looks. Really, really, really pretty. Okay. And then, oh, again, you know, I mean, I've got obviously the buttons that, you know, I was using last time. So, oh no, not that. Not that. Oh, they're quite pretty on there, aren't they? Oh, should we try those safety pins again? If you watched my video yesterday, which for me was like half an hour ago, oh my gosh, we had fun and games trying to get the safety pins to pin into the fabric. Should we have another bash at that, or do you think I should just take the hint and not bother? They might look quite pretty up there. Okay. Oh, I might do this one with this flower in the centre, like the original topper that I'm, you know, had originally got me doing this. Okay, right, let's just go for this. So let's glue her down. Now I'm just wondering, because she's quite a big square, you know, big square item, I think I'm going to just Fabri-Tac her down actually. I have been hot gluing everything down, but she's kind of like, you know, this one is, it's big and square, so I'm just thinking hot glue might look quite lumpy, you know, obviously lumpy, so I think probably the Fabri-Tac is actually better for this one. So let's just get that down like that. Okay. Yeah, so the sun is still shining because obviously I'm filming on the same day. So I hope it's lovely where you guys are. Oh, it's so nice when the sun shines. Just, oh, I feel lovely. Okay. that down. Oh, she looks so pretty on there. I just, oh, even just love it how it is without even anything else on there. She looks so good, doesn't she? Right, let's have this down here. So we're just going to put this little bit of trim down across the bottom. Well, I say the bottom, it's kind of halfway, I guess, isn't it? So there we go. Whoops. Oh, come on. Okay. Oh, so pretty. Right, let's have a play around with these safety pins and see whether we can do it better today. Well, so I'm saying today for you, obviously the same day for me. So probably my technique's not improved at all from half an hour ago. No, still rubbish. Okay. It's not helped because these are super cheap and cheerful safety pins. So, you know, they really are very easy to bend out of shape. And, you know, of course, that's not really ideal. Oh, okay. Oh, they went in there not too bad. Right, I'm just going to have some water. Sorry about that. Too much talking, obviously, already this morning. So, yeah. So I've got this flower that I'm going to put here in the middle. And actually, the original that I made, you know, taking the inspiration from Pinterest, it had a flower in the middle. And then I put just kind of some lace, like a, you know, like tails coming from the flower. So let's do that on this one. So kind of like that, but actually they're quite fat, so let's just trim these down so they're like half the thickness. Okay, like that. And I'm just going to kind of bend them over like that. Oops. Oh, super pretty. Right, okay, so I'm going to just try and leave these here and then glue that flower down just directly on top, and hopefully, oops, okay. Yay, right. So that's just, you know, clamped, you know, held those little lace string bits in there. Okay. Oh, that's so pretty. I love how that looks. And then I'm going to just have a couple of buttons up here. So I mean, this one actually is the most like the original, you know, out of all the ones that I've done, I think. This one is the most similar. Just see whether we want any other buttons. Oh, they're a bit yellow. Okay, let's get my little patina ones in again. Oh, come on. Take some out. Oh, that's one of those, you know. I sort of dangle these more really because that back bit obviously prevents them from laying flat. Oh, that's quite pretty. Yeah, that is quite nice. Okay. Oh, perhaps I'm better off with kind of just two buttons like to the side, I think. Just so I can see if I've got another one that would look really good with it. Oops. That one, for some reason, I must have done gold on that one. And, you know, size-wise, shape-wise and all that. Well, I mean, shape-wise, they're all circle, obviously, circular. But, oh, that's probably better. Yeah, okay. Pop those away. Yeah, okay. Love how those look. So let's just put one. And then the other one. And to be honest, you know, you could do these with card as well. They don't have to be fabric. I mean, I'm doing the fabric ones because, you know, that's what I did on the Pinterest the Pinterest series, which obviously inspired these. But, you know, I mean, you could easily do these with card. I mean, perhaps we could do some with card, you know, another week. Just layering up papers and card and things like that to make some toppers. So let me know, you know, what you think. I don't want to kind of just really bore everyone. I think they're quite addictive, these. You know, they're quite fun to do. So, yeah. But I think, you know, definitely some card ones would look really good with the same sort of concept, you know. So that's that one. Love how that looks. That's just so pretty. Right, let's move that out the way and let's do the next one. So the next one again is that kind of drabbish type looking one. So let's start by, again, just kind of inking it up. Let me get rid of those threads. Oh my goodness, it's like really tangled up around there now. Hold on. Oops. Oh, come on. Right, okay, so let's just ink this up. Yeah, they're really quick to do these, to be honest. So, I mean, actually, if you had just a bunch of these fabrics layered up, it wouldn't really be a bad thing because, you know, when you then pulled them in with your, you know, for your journals, they'd still make it way quicker to just have a bunch of these, you know, fabric pieces layered up. So, yeah, I mean, to be honest, you might want to just do that anyway and just, you know, leave them like that. Okay, so I've got this lady here. Now, again, she's from my Savile Row, you know, ephemera part of the kit. But she was actually a complete photo, you know, much like the other piece. But I've just cut her out now, you know, cut her out of the photo so that she would fit on because she was massive otherwise. You know, that was obviously her. And she would have been just too big. So I decided to just cut her out more like a sort of paper doll type effect. Okay. This trim's so pretty. And to be honest, it just looks really nice everywhere you put it. Oh, do we want to be neutral? No. No. This is quite wide. It's sort of tricky to use because the lace and the ruffle, you know, it's quite wide. So it obviously then tends to cover up a lot of what, you know, what it's put on top of. So, okay. Oh, that's quite pretty, isn't it? I've never tried doing this because obviously I've only, you know, just started using this because I have been hoarding it. But I wonder whether this would be... I wonder whether this would be very terrible. No, it wouldn't, is the answer. Right, let's just cut it. Okay. Do we like it further down? Do we like her further down? Oh, she's a bit weird further down, isn't she? Yeah, she looks better completely on the Hessian, I think. Does that look better up there? Maybe it does. Maybe it does. Just seeing whether we can do anything with this bit. I'm probably just being really stingy trying to incorporate that somewhere, but let's cut off this section here because then it's not so long. Okay. So she could kind of go like that and just have a little bit of lace kind of poking out. I mean, it doesn't really add an awful lot, but, you know, I guess it just kind of brightens it up a little bit, doesn't it? So I will hot glue her down because she's not quite such a big piece as the last one. So let's just go in with the hot glue and hopefully, you know, that's going to just clamp that lace down in behind it. Okay. like that. Okay. Right, that looks super pretty. And then I'm going to have this lace kind of just going across here, and I don't know why I'm constantly trying to use buttons really, but I think because I used buttons on the one, you know, that I did from the Pinterest picture, and I just thought, oh, the buttons just looked so pretty on there. So of course now I just want to use buttons again. Oh, that button looks really pretty on there, doesn't it? It's a really super colour on there. I might have to put this a bit lower because otherwise it was kind of getting a bit lumpy on there. Just see what flowers I've got left, because we might do just another one with a little flower in the middle like we did with the last one, because that looks really lovely. Sorry, I'm just having a little bit of a you know, kind of quick search to see whether I've got anything else like laying around on the desk, you know, that I might prefer to use. Oh, and obviously I've still got those Jabbet things that we made previously. Let me just see whether I've got some that are a good colour for this. I've got this one. It's quite nice, actually. What do you think? Do we like how that looks? I mean, it could even go off to the side. It's quite pretty like that, isn't it? Should we do that? Yeah, let's do that. Okay, right. Let's just glue this down. So hopefully, again, that's just going to kind of clamp that lace in place like that. Okay, so now I'm just going to kind of, you know, get that lace stuck down there where it wasn't stuck, like that. Okay, and then just put this bit down here as well. Oh, that's so pretty. Okay, let's get rid of this out of the way. Want something going on up here. I mean, that button's really lovely on there. Oh, I don't know now. Oh, that's quite nice, isn't it? I feel like I want something else, like more, oh, what's the word? Well, I guess more blingy, more, you know, more sumptuous maybe than just buttons, to be honest, up there. I mean, that's kind of quite nice, maybe. What if I edged that in like gold or sort of patina or something like that? I could try doing that, and we could have that up there. I want something that's, yeah, you know, like this type of thing. I mean, not this, but something like that. Oh, again, this is, you know, where obviously I just wish that I was live and I could hear what you guys are suggesting, because I'm sure that you've probably got some really great ideas, and I'm just sat here now stumped thinking, ooh, what's going to look good there? I mean, there's probably loads of things, but I just can't really now think of anything. Let me just have a look, because I've got some metal pieces. I'm just going to see if I've got anything metal. Hold on. Okay, so in my stash, I pulled out some more of these, you know, thingamybobs that we made last week. And I then looked through my metal bits and, oh my goodness, look at how gorgeous this looks on here. Isn't that just so lovely? So yeah, again, I mean, I received this in Happy Mail, and yeah, I think there was 2 on there. I have a feeling I have used one, but I'm going to take it off from, you see where it's like attached here. So I'm just going to take it off from there, because of course I only want, you know, I only want that big piece. So let me just, oh gosh, let me pull my glasses down. Oh, I feel like a jewellery maker now. Oh, well, not quite like one, because I'm sure that a jewellery maker wouldn't just flick it across the desk. They'd probably do oh my gosh, much better job, especially as I'm now throwing it around again. Oh, okay, right. So I still have this little piece. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know really what I'm going to do with that, but obviously I won't throw it away. Let me just get that sort of sharp piece off that's just like remaining. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. Yeah, in fact, yeah, less and less like a jewellery maker everything that I come to do. So, yeah. I hope nobody's watching who is a jewellery maker, because I'm sure that they're mortified to be put in that bracket with me. Right, hold on. Sorry, it was saying low battery on my thing, so I just had to clear that because, yeah, it was making it kind of hard to see. But, right, so I probably have to do this and then plug in for like half an hour to charge again, and then, you know, come back to do the other two, because, yeah, otherwise I'm not going to have enough battery. But how gorgeous does that look? It's probably my favourite one that I've made. Just, yeah, who doesn't love a bit of bling? So let's put that there, and then, oops, let's just glue this down. Straight on there. I love how that looks. It's so pretty, isn't it? Oh, I love how that looks. Yeah, really, really gorgeous. And I mean, of course, you know, again, this is very floppy and heavy now because, you know, it's got kind of heavy bits on it. But again, you know, as soon as this is down onto a journal cover, that's not going to be a problem. It will be, you know, glued and fixed onto the cover. Oh, scrumptious. Absolutely love this piece. Right, okay. So I'm going to now plug my camera in, you know, plug my phone in for half an hour, and then I will come back and we'll finish off. Okay, so I'm back. I've got 50% charge now, so let's try and be quick before it runs out again. So I utilised the half an hour having a cup of tea, and, you know, I just made some more wax seals, really. So I thought that this one might look quite nice on here. So I've dug out some navy blue lace, which I thought would look quite, you know, quite pretty on here too. So I'm just going to cut these threads. And yeah, we're going to have this cluster on here. And then, oh, I'm trying to feel which way is the right way and the wrong way for that lace. I don't think it's, you know, much of a difference, to be perfectly honest, but okay, so kind of there. I'm wondering whether to have it like top and bottom again, you know, like I did on that other piece. So I'm just going to move the camera slightly because I've obviously knocked it whilst I wasn't filming. I've got this like aubergine coloured ribbon lace. Just wondered whether that might look good. I mean, I know it's not really got aubergine, but I just kind of thought it's a similar tone, isn't it, to that colour pink. So I wondered whether that might go, to be honest. Not really too sure that it does. And it's another one of those things that, you know, if I do that, I'm probably then going to struggle to use this cover because I will feel it doesn't then go, you know, with whatever journal that I'm putting it in. So yeah, let's try not to be too adventurous, because yeah, it will only end in tears when then I can't use it. Okay, right. Okay, so this one here. Now, do I like this lace kind of like across here or down the side? I mean, I quite like it across here, I think. So I'm just going to cut that down. Okay. Like that. And yeah, like this. And then this sort of colours that I've done the wax seal, I mean, wow, it just looks terrible mess, doesn't it, that wax seal, to be honest. It was the worst one out of all the ones I did, but it was the one that just happened to be the colour that I was needing. So yeah, I'm going to have to go with it now, which is a bit of a shame, but oh gosh, every time I use this patina, I have to unclog the thingy, you know, the nozzle. It came in a pack of 2. This is like the antique bronze, and the other one is antique copper. And weirdly, the antique copper, you know, that's fine and works fine. The antique bronze, every time I've ever used it, I've had to unclog the thing. Even when I first, literally the first time I opened it, you know, it wasn't really wanting to work. Oh gosh, now look, got tons. Just want to kind of emphasize a little bit on there. Probably should have done this before it was, well, I was going to say before it was on the ribbon, but actually I did it on the ribbon, so yeah, that wouldn't have been an option anyway. Oh, I love how that looks. Doesn't that look gorgeous? Oh, I love how that looks. Actually, I don't want to waste that patina now that I've just poured out, so I'm just going to quickly do a couple of the others that I kind of did at the same time. Okay. So, I mean, obviously, I didn't do these for this project or anything, but I will just use up that patina so that I'm not wasting it. Okay. Oh, how pretty does that look? Sorry, I'm just getting completely sidetracked now, really, because, yeah, this was not obviously what I was planning on doing. Let's just quickly do this one. Okay. Okay, right, okay, let's leave it there. So I'll just get rid of that off the desk before I, you know, put something in it by mistake. Right. So, yeah, back to this. So if that goes on there, and oh, I also thought that this stamped piece might look quite pretty. I mean, maybe I'm getting a bit too many pieces now. You know, perhaps it's getting a bit cluttered. Just going to put that there and just have a look and see if I were to use either some of this trim. And that's quite pretty, isn't it? Let me just see if I had some other lace at the top. You know, like we did on the other one, where you like top and tail it. Let me just cut that down. Okay. Right, so I'm just going to stick that on first, because then, you know, I've committed to something. I'm not just keep moving things around, which otherwise that's a risk. That's a risk that's just going to keep on happening. Okay, all right. Okay, and then just pop this one down. Like that. Okay. I'm not too worried if the glue's showing through, because I'm going to stick some of the trim, you know, one of these trims over the top of that lace. So, you know, if it's looking a little bit like, oh, you can see the glue through there, you know, it's hopefully not a problem, because I'm going to stick this, whoops, I definitely need to stick something over it now, because it's, of course, sorry, I'm just moving the camera again. Right, okay. I mean, that's quite pretty up there, to be honest. Just see what buttons I've got here. I mean, that's quite gold, isn't it? It's, oh, I should have really patinaed these buttons, shouldn't I? So that they were not so bright. So now I've wiped all that patina off, I'm just going to pull them out again. Right, let's go back in. Oops. Don't necessarily want to get rid of the gold completely, but just dull it down. I wonder if that button's up better up the other way, actually. So let's just do it around here. Okay. Just go around there, because otherwise it's just really bright, and yeah, probably not really Oh gosh, I'm making such a mess of this. Definitely beyond my capabilities, this is. Oh gosh. Oh, let's put that just down there. Okay, right. Let's put the lid on this before I tip it over everything. Okay, right. Oh, do we like this? Do we think this trim looks pretty? I mean, I think it does look quite pretty. I wonder if we want like a book plate or anything like that. Or are we going to have a flower on this one? I mean, the flower looks quite pretty, doesn't it? Oh, this one's nice. Maybe this one's better. So, yeah, all that kind of making this ribbon thing, it was pointless anyway. Right, let's just... Oh, actually, just before I stick this down, sorry, just want to check that I don't, you know, don't prefer this. Oh, I think I do prefer this, actually. Right, again, so I'm just going to just cut this down, and then I'm going to just cut it in half again, like we did last time that I used this, which I think might have been yesterday. Was it yesterday or was it today? I'm not sure now. Because, like I say, I'm filming this obviously on the same day. So for me, I've lost track completely of which things happened in which video. Okay. Yeah, that looks quite pretty. I mean, I have snipped into that, but I'm not too worried. I think it still looks, you know, still looks cute. Oh gosh. Could have ended up with patina bits all over there, couldn't I? Right, just checking whether I would like the wax seal on there. I'm not sure. No, I'm not really too sure. I don't think it's quite the right colour, to be honest. Do I want that flower? Is that flower too big? Is it just looking a bit monstrous on there? Just try this one. I thought perhaps this would be a better colour because, you know, it has got this kind of tealy type colour. I don't know. Maybe it's a bit too green. Oh, isn't it annoying how you just never have quite the thing, quite the right thing that you're looking for. I'm just going to pull in those big gems again because I know that, yeah, I've got these gorgeous coloured ones. Aren't these just gorgeous? Love that colour. I don't know what, you know, what I pulled it in for yet. I'm not sure whether I'll even use it at all, but I thought let's pull it in and have a look. Oh gosh, it's looking rubbish everywhere I'm putting it, to be honest. Unless we make a little flower to go on there. Should we do that? Should we make a quick flower from this like navy blue? So if I just cut a couple of, you know, a couple of lengths of this. Okay. Right. Let's hope that this goes okay, because I'm just wondering whether I would be better off cutting this down. Is it going to be too massive? Well, let's just give it a try. We don't know until we try, so okay. Right. So I'm just kind of making my little petals here. So one. Oops. Oh gosh. Oh, talk about you know, off at a tangent. Okay, let's just kind of do the next one. Okey-dokey. That one. Right, I'm wondering whether this is going to be huge. Probably quite huge, but never mind. Okay. Oops. Oh, come on. Right. Obviously, if you're making any flowers like this, do be careful of your fingers because, yeah, that hot glue is pretty hot. I mean, obviously, I now have glue all over my finger, so it's kind of like acting as a shield. It's just sealed over with the glue, so yeah. Once that happens, it makes it a little bit easier because obviously your finger's not then so prone to getting burnt. But not that I'm, you know, not that I'm suggesting that that's like a foolproof way of protecting yourself or anything like that. But okay, right. Let's see how these look. So, oh, they're going to just look awful, aren't they? But let's just put those there. Just want to see kind of how big they are. They are quite big. And yeah, okay, well they are quite big, but I think what I'm going to do, so let me just grab a piece of card and just cut out a small circle. Hold on. Oh, come on, I must have card everywhere here. Right, I'm just going to take a piece of bit page. To be honest, it doesn't need to be anything significant because all I want to do is make a little round base to be able to stick those petals on. So yeah, book page is absolutely fine. Right, probably just want to make it slightly smaller so it's not really visible too much. Okay, right. Maybe I prefer the darker side up. Right, let's cut these down slightly. So I'm just going to take the first one and just glue it here. I mean, obviously I have done fabric flowers before, so, you know, it's not kind of a tutorial for fabric flowers or anything. If you haven't seen, you know, how to make fabric flowers, you know, this is not my tutorial. I mean, it's the same, you know, I'm doing the same method, but I just mean, you know, this is just a very quick, you know, just throw together a flower quickly. Yeah, but I mean, equally, it is the same method as the ones that I do quite often. Okay, right, I'm going to just go in and glue it this side now. Okay, and then I would just do the other one. So again, just take that down, oops. Just literally, I'm taking off like a slither off the end, like, you know, a millimetre or two off the end. Oops. And again, just going to kind of glue it from the back here. Pop that on there. Okay, so I mean that looks quite pretty, doesn't it? And I think we'd then have like maybe, oh, I was going to say a layer of ivory, but oh my gosh, that looks so pretty, doesn't it? Yeah, I don't want to now have a layer of ivory. I'm going to just do another little layer of blue. So let me just see what I need to do. I just want to give it, you know, sort of a little bit more life really. So do we want to do like just a couple of circles, or shall we do right, okay, let's try and do similar again. So again, just going to cut down a couple of like you know, a couple of little strips like that, and then let's cut these in half. Oh gosh, these are just going to be titchy, aren't they, now to work with? Yeah. Okay. Oh, I don't believe it, because now I've gone off at this tangent. I might just not get finished with the final topper. And I can't possibly do like a fourth part to our mass making this week. It would be ridiculous. So yeah, we'll have to kind of see how it goes. Unfortunately, I didn't make a mental note of when I stopped the camera earlier, you know, what time it was, and I should have done that really. I just kind of dab the, or dab the hot glue just along the length, just so that I've got some here to be able to just fold it over and, you know, oops, glue it in. Like that, okay. Doesn't have to be perfect at all, you know, because of course, you know, my gem's going to go in there, that will be hiding it. You know, yeah, it's not going to be visible, it's just going to be hidden. Completely hidden. Oh, come on. Oh gosh, this is like, oh, nightmare. Nightmare, because it's now got so tiny I can barely do it. Right, okay. I might be okay with 3 pieces, to be fair. Should we try? Because that would spare me the pain of having to fiddle around with even tinier bits. Right, let's try with this one first. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Right, let's go for this one. Because you're just wanting to get, you know, a bit of layering going up. And to be honest, that flower looked gorgeous, just the one, you know, the one layer of petals. So, I mean, if, you know, if need be, kind of one layer would be more sufficient, you know, more than ample. She says as she's now sticking the other layers on. Oh my goodness, look. Just trying to get rid of that hot glue because it's quite white. Oh, I don't want it showing. Oh gosh. Gosh, I should just pull my glasses down so that I can see a bit better. Oh my goodness. Oh, okay. Oh, that's so annoying. I am going to have to do that other piece. Okay, right. This one now. Oh my gosh. Right. You'll be pleased to know that this is this is pretty much going to be one of the last things that goes on that topper. So yeah, then we are more or less done with that one. So yeah, it's all good. Okay, right. What do you think? Can I just get away with it like that? Oh, you see, now I'm just going to have to do this. Ugh. Oh, now I'm flicking everything off the desk. Hold on. Right. Oh, come on, come on, come on. Oh my gosh. What? Oh, this is just becoming a nightmare, isn't it? I'm sure that you're probably all switched off now. That's fine. I don't blame you at all. Right, okay. So my little gap. Oh, I can't even see now where the gap is. Where I'm needing to put an extra piece. Oh, where is it? There? I thought it was over there, but oh, let's just get it stuck down, for heaven's sake. Oh, right, okay. I'm just getting a couple of bits of that hot glue off because it looks very white, and so of course it's very visible. All right. Sometimes you get hot glue that's more visible than others, I've got to say, and yeah, you know, sometimes it's more invisible and sometimes more visible, less invisible. This one's obviously a very visible one. Right, okay, give up. Right, there we go. So let's just take my centre. Right, so I mean that centre, to be honest, pretty much covers up, you know, most of those awful shoddy glue bits anyway. So, right, let's just glue that in. Like that. Okay. Oh, that's so pretty, isn't it? Right, okay. So, let's now pop that on there. Oh my gosh, I'm just going to get rid of all this stuff. Okay, sorry about that. I just had to get rid of those hot glue threads because they were like all over the desk, and then, you know, everything was just getting stuck on them, to be honest. Right, okay, let's get this pop down here. So I might just use my Fabri-Tac on here because maybe I can make a bit of a neater job of it. Oh, famous last words there. Okay, let's hope for the best. Okay. Right. Okay. Oops. looks really pretty on there. And then again, just kind of do this bottom piece here. Oh, just kind of dabbing onto those flowers, which are like obviously the more solid part. Okay. Oops. And again, just trying to kind of cover up basically the hot glue that was kind of showing through. So yeah, that looks fine. Right, and then I've got this, which was the lace that we cut in half. I don't know whether it was earlier or yesterday now. But yeah, to make those little tail type bits for the flower. So just going to kind of ink it up, and then I'm going to kind of fold it like that. And I'm just going to cut. It's so we've got like thinner pieces, so they're not great big, you know, ugly pieces. So like that. Oh, that looks super pretty, doesn't it? Let's glue this down. I hadn't realised I still hadn't actually glued that down. Right, my only thing that's a little bit tricky is that piece of the umbrella. So just going to put some fabric tack on there. Okay. And maybe just one or two of the, you know, like those really skinny sort of fiddly bits. Okay, and then just, I'm going to hot glue the rest down because that's just super quick. Oh, it's so lovely and sunny outside. Okay, yeah, I'm going to hopefully go for a walk soon. So, yeah, before the sun goes. No, hopefully the sun's not going. Hopefully it's there for a while yet. It's only kind of just lunchtime. Right, okay, so that looks really pretty. I'm just going to glue my flower down here, like that. Just keeping those little sort of streamery type bits that look gorgeous. I wonder, just quickly before we do that, did I want any blue streamery bits there? Let me just check. Oh yeah, let's have a couple of them. Okay, so again, just kind of cut that in half, otherwise it's just really thick, isn't it? And yeah, obviously doesn't look quite so pretty, so just cut that down. Oops, gosh, I made a hideous job of cutting that. So now actually I'm wondering, I might get rid of that side altogether, because it's, you know, where the header is, it's quite ugly, isn't it? It's very thick, so let's get rid of that. And whoops. Okay, and we will just pop that down like that. Oops. Yeah, and then, oh, this might be too thick as well, so let me just cut this in half completely. Okay. And just, yeah, I'm just going to do it like that. So finally, I hear you say, we are now sticking the flower down. Oh, how pretty does that look? I love those colours, aren't they gorgeous? So pretty. And, you know, I mean, obviously we can just put some buttons on here if we want to as well. I mean, like, you know, if I haven't messed around enough, let's just now muck about a bit more and put some buttons on. Put a button here. Or maybe just up there. Because, I mean, once this is glued on, it's obviously going to be, you know, flat onto the thingy. Oh, actually, I'm going to put the button down in that corner. You know, flat onto the journal cover. So, you know, although it was kind of like looking like it's curling up, it's just because it's obviously not glued onto anything yet. Sorry, just get that piece of glue out of there. Yeah, so that looks really, really pretty, doesn't it? And let's just check whether I want anything else. No. Okay, so yeah, love how that looks. Right, let me just check how long I've been filming. Hold on. Okay, well, the videos are all in little bits, but according to that, I think I've got kind of about 10 minutes. So let's do like a bit of a rush job on this one and see if we can just, you know, manage to pull it off. We might not. So, you know, I'm not going to get in a panic. If we can't kind of get it to work quite quickly, then we'll just leave it and not bother. Okay, right. Again, so I'm just bringing in some of those gorgeous little trims and things that obviously I've brought along anyway. You know, because that's going to be a lot quicker than obviously looking around for something else now to use. Sorry, I'm just fidgeting in my chair now. I always kneel up and, you know, obviously from time to time you have to kind of swap what leg you're kneeling on. So yeah, just had to kind of swap around. Otherwise you get like a dead leg and pins and needles obviously in your feet. That I'm then sort of kneeling on. Okay, that's that one. I'm just going to try this little gathered. It's more white than ivory, so it's not really kind of looking quite right. I've got this. Oops. Although I absolutely love this, it, you know, normally kind of never fails to work. But actually, I think for the covers, this is a little bit too sort of insignificant. So, yeah, it's funnily enough not working. Just put that away. Let me just bring in the other lace that I was using. It had dropped on the floor. Okay, so maybe that. Just cut that down, and I'm just going to cut this down here as well because otherwise it's a little bit too wide. Okay. Oh, that's quite pretty, isn't it? Perhaps we could have it like that. And then again, let's just, you know, trying to kind of be a little bit quick. Oh, I love how that button looks. So pretty because it's kind of duck eggy. So, you know, just picks up that duck egg from the, you know, that background fabric. Okay, I'm just having a look to see if I've got anything else that's kind of vaguely bluish. Can't see anything right now. I've got this little dangly thing that we'd cut off of the other one, so we could have that kind of dangling from there, to be honest. That might look quite pretty. So I might just quickly ink this up. Sorry for shaking the desk around. Yeah, let's put this here. Oops. Okay, and just check that I wouldn't prefer this going down, covering up that tatty edge. No, let's just have it like that. So I'm just going to glue this down. Again, I'm just going to glue this down with the fabric tack because it's, you know, it's a largish kind of squarish piece. So I think it would just be very bumpy and, you know, visibly bumpy if I were to use the hot glue. So let's just pop that down. Okay. Oh, excuse my wipe now. It's now covered in the patina. So, yeah. Okay. Yeah, love that blue button. That's so pretty. Okay, let's just put that down like that. So I'm just going to hot glue this down. It's just quick. Okay. Right, and then this one I'm just going to, I think actually I'm going to do it in like 2 halves. So I'm going to kind of glue here. Okay. Oops. Yeah, and then just take the other half and glue the other half. Okay. Oops. That looks really pretty. And now, could we have one of our little flowers here? Could have a flower kind of to the side, maybe. That looks quite pretty, doesn't it? And then we could just have this dangling from somewhere. Maybe like dangling from there. Just check. Oh, I think I prefer this flower actually. I don't know why, but you know, because they're pretty similar, but this one's just got that sparkly centre, which maybe just, you know, finishes it off better. Just going to check that I wouldn't prefer the flower up the top. No. Okay, right. So, yeah, I'm going to put the flower kind of to the side. So, again, you know, it's a little bit lumpy because obviously I've got quite a few layers going on there. But, again, once it's glued down onto the, you know, the journal cover, it won't really matter. It will be fine. So, yeah, oops. Let's see if I can do it this way around. Sometimes it makes a difference, you know, like if your circle is off centre, you could glue it further down one way and then it might get rid of some of that bulk, if that makes sense. Okay, so I'm going to get a bulb pin in a minute and just glue that down with a bulb pin. Just before I glue that down, just see whether we want any trim before putting those buttons on. It just kind of helps to sort of make it look extra pretty, really, doesn't it, when you put extra things on? You know, why stop at just one thing when you can have, you know, 10? Why stop at one? Was I having that right at the top? I think I was. Okay. Yeah. Okey-dokey. And we just drop that off. I mean, now what I obviously need to do is actually, you know, make some journals. I haven't really kind of completed a journal for a while. So, yeah, I've got no excuse now because I've obviously got a whole bunch of, you know, cover toppers ready to go. So I have got a video actually in the bank of doing a, you know, junk journal cover, and weirdly enough, not using the, you know, not using the toppers because, of course, I filmed it a while back. But, yeah, if that goes up, it's not because I've shunned my new covers or new toppers. It's because I had actually filmed it a little while ago. So, yeah. Okay, right. Just get those hot glue threads out. And then all I'm going to do is just, yeah, take a bulb pin and pin this on. I'm just going to check that I want a bulb pin because I have got those safety pins that I've struggled so much to use. So I'm just going to check that I wouldn't prefer to struggle and use one of these again. Oh, let's do that. Let's struggle and make life much harder than it needs to be. Oh, kind of liking it everywhere, to be honest. Oh, let's go for it here, right. Oh, well, I am saying I'm liking it everywhere. Of course, I haven't actually tried to pin it to the fabric yet. This is where I kind of go right off it. Oh, come on. Okay. Let's just move that kind of to the side a bit. Okay, so that looks really pretty, doesn't it? Just going to just check whether we need a book plate on here at all. Well, probably not this one because it's a little bit wrong colour. I think a book plate would look quite nice, but yeah, I would have to now cut out a book plate and things, and obviously I feel like I've just zapped up so much of your time already. So yeah, I will add that later if I'm going to add it. I mean, it looks perfectly fine without one, doesn't it? So again, let me just pull in a journal cover and just kind of show you how these would look. So again, we've got this one absolutely gorgeous, isn't it? Just so scrumptious. And, you know, I mean, again, all you'd have to do is just put down, whoops, a little bit of lace. Oh, and how pretty does that look? Oh, it's just scrumptious. So again, I mean, I would probably Mod Podge over this, or glossy accent or something. You know, just because this is paper, so just to kind of give it a bit of a durable surface. But yeah, so that's that one. And then we've got this one. I mean, again, you know, this is just the cover I've pulled in. I'm not necessarily saying I would use this cover for this topper. But just to give you a kind of quick idea of, you know, how it's going to look. So, I mean, it looks super pretty, doesn't it? And to be honest, I mean, you could just kind of pull in the blue by just then layering up, you know, some more lace or something. So, super pretty. Okay, and then the next one was this one. So, of course, this is using this fabric, so, you know, it might be a bit samey now. Actually, I quite like it, funnily enough. I thought it would look awful, but, yeah, it looks quite nice, actually. You know, again, I mean, you could always bring in that ruffle in again, determined to use that somewhere. Yeah, I mean, maybe not that ruffle, but, you know, certainly, I mean, this lace is obviously the same as this lace, and so looks really, really pretty, doesn't it? So, you know, you've got different looks. The ivory kind of gives it straight away a much more delicate look, and the, you know, this obviously kind of makes it feel more grown up and sophisticated, I think, somehow. So that's that one. And then the final one is this red one, which I have to say I absolutely love. Well, to be honest, I really love them all. I'm not sure which one's my favourite. So that's the red one. Again, I mean, I'm just kind of showing you how it would look with a bit of lace or something. You know, I'm not necessarily saying that. But just to kind of give you a bit of an idea, really, of how it would look with a little bit, you know, a little bit extra going on that cover. Just scrumptious. Just really, really love it. So yeah, I really hope that you've enjoyed the videos. You know, they have obviously been a three-parter now, so yeah, I'm sorry that they've dragged on for so long. But I hope that you've liked them, and I hope it's given you some ideas of some gorgeous, you know, things to do with your toppers. And yeah, have super, you know, lots of fun. And thank you so much for watching, and see you guys soon. Thanks then. Bye.